for any reason, ever share your private keys, passphrases, passwords, or click suspicious links. Everyone all the time is trying to. There's no point making all this money just to give it to a thief.
Are you tired of all the uneducated noise you're getting from the droves of YOLO meme coin peddling douchebag gurus out there trying to use you as their exit liquidity? Would you rather learn a competent university-level set of skills that will guide you in managing and investing for the rest of your life? Join us 3 days a week at Digital Investor. Develop your knowledge of game theory, cognitive bias, macroeconomics, monetary theory, investment theory, psychology of the crowds, and more. For more info on Digital Investor and how it can help you, reach out at nickblacknext.com.
You like that kind of quiet, demure music, Brandon? Do you like that?
It's so soft and undertone.
It makes you want to cuddle. Who wants to
Relaxed right
cuddle?
now. So
Crypto,
relaxed.
cuddle for crypto, cuddle for crypto.
It's good to be back. Oh my gosh, what a week, Nick. We've had a lot going on.
You've been doing a lot and going a lot of where
I went
where
to
have you
Central
been, buddy?
Florida. There said there was somebody from Central Florida. My main goal is we're trying to expand our horizons here in our digital investor world, right? So the goal is to reach as many people as possible because I feel, and Nick feels the same way, but this is not a cutthroat world where we win, you lose. Everybody can win together, and the more people we can get in our little ecosystem all pushing towards the same goal, the better off we're going to be. So I had a little meeting where we were trying to work on a scenario where we could expand our net a little bit more, and we'll see how that goes. So busy stuff for digital investor.
Busy stuff there.
Central Florida, man, it is hot there. I tell you what, dude, I woke up 90 degrees. 90 degrees. I ain't not having none of that. I had to bounce out of there as quick as possible.
So, Brandon, do you want to explain? Okay, so for those of you that do or don't know, I think everybody knows this, that we are helping the sales effort at Hypercycle. Basically, so we've created the portal where this is where node licenses will be purchased. For a variety of reasons, this makes a lot of sense. So in doing that, one of the things that we're doing starting today, I think we're going to run this for 2 weeks, is going to be, Brandon, do you want to explain it? What is this bundle crap?
This bundle is so cool, and we've already had a couple people get this bad boy. So the bundle went live yesterday. If you buy a master node worth of licenses, so that's 512 node licenses, then you get a it's not a free Hyper AI box, but it's basically a free Hyper AI box that you have to pay $20 for legality anyway, whole thing. But basically it's a free Hyper AI box, so you can run those 512 nodes for tilling as soon as you want on your own box, which is actually really cool. And this bundle is exclusive, obviously. Well, everything's exclusive now through us, right? Everything.
Yeah.
And the only reason that that's the case is because Nick and I we're able to handle, we have a team together that's able to handle this stuff and make this run smoothly. And it takes a lot off of Hypercycle's plate so that we can do this stuff so they can work on what they do best. And we can work on what we do best, which is, the customer service side and kind of all this stuff. So it's actually really good it's a win-win-win-win, And so it moves everything along more quickly with Hypercycle's and us. So yeah.
Do you want to hear some cool stats on the box?
Obviously, that's why we're here.
So this is not confirmed, but this is what we're getting from the people that are building the boxes. So, well, and another thing, you'll be able to come here in a few days, and actually maybe by tonight, if you just want the box, you'll be able to click a button and get on the list for the box. And no, it's not a super secret list, but it's kind of a first come, first serve thing. So I guess that matters. But You'll be able to say, hey, I want one of the boxes, put your name down. No, you don't have to pay anything, but that'll put you on a list for the box. And the second that they are available to actually physically order, yay, you will get it. Now, here's what I've learned from the team that's working on the box. This is as of just like an hour ago. The GPU is not as beefy as like a desktop PC with a new gen GPU, but the Hyper AI box will be capable of training and inference for large models like LLMs for the 14 terabyte storage version, which I think these things are going to have 14 terabytes of storage, which is not insignificant. Classic machine learning algorithms, distributed encrypted storage built as modules in the AIM, pipeline ops for data scraping, data mining. The current hypothesis is that they won't be capable of handling computation for generative AI like the recent ones like ChatGPT, Vicuna, etc. But they're going to be exploring use as possibly a home cloud storage device, which people could run AI on it and your data would stay essentially in your own custody. So you would be able to pool your own data. And at some point you could even anonymize it and sell it. So, and again, these are what the AI box, other than this, just the continual and perpetual processing of compute transactions and obviously tilling. And remember, tilling is signaling to the network that you're here. Hey, I'm available. Compute is actually running AI workloads, tasks. They might not all be AI, just running compute tasks, because many companies might leverage Hypercycle that are not even messing, well, they will be messing with AI, but they might have other compute tasks that are still much less expensive running across Hypercycle rails, across that kind of global brain, if you think about it like that. So there's a lot of businesses that will simply use Hypercycle because it's more efficient or cost effective than the rails they may be using. It's like purchasing phone minutes. If you purchase a phone minutes for $1 a minute and someone says, hey, we've got phone minutes for 3 cents a minute. Oh, okay, well, give me some of them 3 cents a minute phone minutes. So that's what we know right now. So it's going to be pretty cool. I know I'm going to have one. I just want to play with it and see what it can do, but it would be cool to have my own personal encrypted cloud and like start building out all this data and then being able to like anonymize that, put that out maybe in Ocean's data marketplace or something like that. I don't know. I'm just kind of thinking in the future. Could be pretty dope. Brandon, what will your cloud look like? Your cloud's gonna be gross.
So my cloud, no, it's gonna be the cleanest cloud you've ever seen.
Disgusting cloud.
It's gonna be like clean with like hypercycle.
You're gonna have a brown cloud
here and there.
It's gonna be a brown cloud.
Don't even Don't.
It's gonna look like cloud. What's the little kid that has dust all and flies around him?
That's on Charlie Brown, right?
What's his name? Pigpen.
Pigpen. Yeah. Pigpen.
You're gonna have a Pigpen cloud.
Don't even. You've inspired some questions here that are actually pretty good.
All right.
Arizona, if you think Florida. So I'm going to Arizona in a couple weeks, Phoenix. So I'll let you know which one's hotter. You know, I'm going there for a couple days. This one, will there be 1 to 7? Yeah, there's going to be smaller node licenses available. Not soon, probably. I don't know. This is still, anyway. We're working on this. This is a little bit more rambunctious. Wait, there was a really good one. Hold on here. Oh, can we assign the data center instead of doing the boxes? Are you talking about the AI boxes? Because then that's a redundant thing. Basically, the AI box is a data center. It's its own little data center. It does its own work. So you wouldn't assign it to a second data center. That's like driving a car on top of a car. That's like parking a car on top of a car. Like, and then both of them are driving down the highway. So
and Brandon is still grappling with words. You know, words is something that he's still grappling with. So don't mind if his analogies don't resonate maybe with you.
No, that was a perfect analogy. That was a perfect analogy.
But no, if you have the box, you have a facility. What I would assume is that for tilling, and there's going to be a lot to be said when the Wednesday version of This Week in Hypercycle comes out. There's a lot going on behind the scenes that I can't quite talk about, but I can tell you this, the Wednesday one's going to be pretty exciting. And in that, this box, which I believe will be ready in about 45 days, maybe sooner, but probably somewhere around there, we'll be able to do the tilling, basically beaconing to the network for an entire masternode. However, for compute, you should assume 1 node per box. Now, you're like, well, I wouldn't want 512 of these things. I mean, I don't know what you would want. Likely, I think it makes sense for people that are participating in Hypercycle to have one of the boxes, to be participating at that level and kind of get your feet wet, and then make the decision: do I want to buy higher grade or equipment with more dexterity in their compute, so that I could handle like tons and tons of nodes? Do I want to build out a mini facility, or do I just want to send my married tokens and nodes over to a facility, or do I want to park them at HyperPG or Hyperpool? But as those things develop, we'll be able to see what makes the most sense. And you might bet on all the racehorses. You might run some master node, some of these AI boxes on your own. You might send some of your tokens to HyperPG. You might send some of your tokens and licenses to Hyperpool. Basically, kind of bet on all of the horses so that no matter what, you have a winner come through, right? Like you can do all of it. There's no rules that say you can only do this or only do that. You should do what's best for you. And if you don't know, do un poco de todo. Do a little bit of all of it and wait and see what's giving you the best return, and then scale in that direction as the network scales. Because math.
Easy. We might actually have some news on this a little bit later, Andy. By the end of the week, you think, Nick?
If you're on the list, will we get an email to purchase it? Yeah. If you're on the list, everybody who's already, there's some people that got on the list. You're talking about the list that we sent out, which we should make, we should have an active link there for people that just want to, well, you know what we do?
Yeah, there's an active list. There's an active link, but what that is, it's a Google Doc that goes to Hypercycle. I mean, there's going to be a different way in which these boxes might be handled soon.
Yeah,
right?
We're going to actually put in the same way, like when you look at this page, there's going to be another box that allows anybody, let me go here, that allows anybody to actually basically put their name on purchasing one or many of the Hyper AI boxes, right? We just don't have final pricing yet. We may get that next week. I believe the range is somewhere between 1,000 and 1,200 per unit. I don't know for sure. And obviously the more of those units that they produce, probably that price would be more competitive towards the $1,000 mark. I don't know. They're dealing with a bunch of companies. They didn't want to rely on any one. And the Hyper Appliance is actually a partnership with several companies, right? Is moving from the world of electrons to the world of atoms, right? And so they're going to make sure they don't want to rely on any one facility to build them. They want a bunch of facilities building them so that if there's some supply chain bottleneck or some weirdness, that they would be fine. So that all factors into the price at the curb, so to speak, which we don't quite know yet, but we could know as early as next week.
Right. What about this? This might be the last one pertaining to this that I see. Hold on.
When a person separates all but one node after tilling, won't that lose their uptime rating? So I think you need to think about it more like this. A node is you can separate all these to the individual nodes. You need to think of them as individual nodes. Yes, you may have a cluster of them, but each node is its own autonomous unit. It will have its own uptime, its own reputation, its own compute workload, and it will generate its own income. Whether you have 100,000 of these or you have 2. So they're all their own individual units. Now we're going to create a full portfolio tracking in Node Market that allows you to look at all of your nodes and all of their production and compare them to the rest of the ecosystem's nodes in production. But these are all things that we're waiting on various bits of code and smart contract and audits, things like that. So we can only go as fast as their team goes, and they can only go as fast as audits allow them because they can't put out bad tech. So yeah, hope that helps.
Yeah. I think for a lot of this stuff, it may seem like overwhelming sometimes, but we're going to like literally step by step. We're going to be doing these shows all the time behind the paywall in Digital Investor So we're going to be doing all these shows. We're going to be walking you through step by step. You will know exactly what Nick and I are doing as we're doing it, and you guys can do the same thing, but we'll also help handhold as we disseminate these nodes and keep things going that way. It's going to be super easy.
Hyper Appliance think of Hyper Appliance as essentially the company. There will be many Hyper Appliances. This Hyper AI box is the first of the many of the family of Hyper Appliances, because they may work with companies, other companies, which I will not name, and they may have appliances, rigs, computers, ASICs, whatever. Any of those devices would fall under the family of Hyper Appliances, if that makes sense. And the name subject to change. They may change the verbiage. Can the box allow anyone tilling in my one box since I have 62 nodes? I don't think you would want to mix other people's nodes in your box. I think it's, again, it is capable, and essentially you'll kind of partner up with your box. You'll go through a little, first of all, you'll get the box out of the box. You will plug in, it will connect. And what you'll do is spin up your own private key and passphrase. That's pretty much the bulk of the work you'll have to do. Once it's got its own unique identity, then you'll be able to start importing node licenses and things like that. So, and again, they're going to have all of this set up where you're not going to need, it's going to be like, click the button here, do this, click the button there. And Brandon's going to make videos for every single aspect of the box. Once the box launches, if you need to do this or that, we'll have videos on doing this or that. So you'll be good. No one will have to figure out particle physics to get this done. Sweet.
Step by step. Here we go. Does tilling? Hold on. Where is that question? I put it up.
Finley's got one real quick. What factors determine when node splits? It's a combination of your the computer's uptime, the computer's total reputation, and its compute ability. So compute, uptime, and reputation all have their own scores that are rising. For instance, you plug your machine in, it's running, it's signaling to the network, I'm here. It's generating a reputation, which is raising its relevance, raising its rank. Once compute tasks start getting handed out sometime in the spring of 2024, it's continuing to develop a reputation. Now it's not just uptime, it's also compute capacity and an overall reputation and quality of compute, things like that. And so all of this is creating a rating. And as the rating gets up towards a threshold of 2, then the node splits. Then your one node with 1,024 tokens is now 2 nodes with 512 tokens each, so on and so forth.
Easy.
Yeah.
Oh, tilling, compute, generate the same income.
No. Tilling is not, you don't generate income from tilling. You're simply telling the network you're available. You generate income from compute. Now, if you work with HyperPG, where you park your tokens and or node licenses, they are paying you a 9% reward for having those, so that the second they're allowed to actually participate, which they may be part of some early testing rollout phase with Hypercycle, then they will be earning that revenue. They're just going to pay you a fixed fee to borrow those assets. That's what they're doing. You're borrowing, like, I don't want to go into the whole thing because I think we've talked this into oblivion, but HyperPG is paying you a fixed return for locking up your assets for 18, 24 months, something like that. Again, think repo market. Yeah. Okay.
Perfect.
Yes, a node can split just from tilling, just from beaconing, and it would be around.
That's the advantage of getting in early on tilling. That's the advantage of buying now and getting in early to start tilling. The quicker your node splits, the quicker you double your income. I like double. I like double the income versus single the income. So there's not as disadvantage, even though you're not getting paid during tilling, you're gaining reputation and that stuff, so you can split sooner.
The list, where do people go, Brandon, if they want to sign up for a Hyperbot? Or we're going to put a link up there. We're going to put in this section. We're going to put something up today, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean, it's right on the member dashboard here. If you go to Yeah, right. It's literally right here. You click on this box and you can sign up for the list. So, but we're also going to have something on the shop page too, so you can click on it there too.
So on the shop page, we will endeavor to get something up by the end of the day that allows you to click.
List, though.
Yeah, it's the same list. Yep, same list. We're not, just so everyone knows, we're not the gatekeepers of anything. We're just the official avenue for purchasing node licenses in their various bundles and whatnots. And another avenue, certainly not the only one, but another avenue for people to get the Hyper AI box.
Word.
Ain't no chokehold, bro.
That's right. All right. The housekeeping, let's do that behind. Let's lock it up and head over there.
I guess we're going to lock it up. So for those of you that want to join us, you can become, you can join Digital Investor. You can go to that little nickblacknext.com. You can go to powertradeit.com. You can, so many ways. Look at him flexing. Flex. Look at that.
I think I messed up my elbow. Oh my god.
Did you?
It's hurt.
Flexing.
It's hurt. Oh, okay.
With your
okay.
With your brown cloud of muck.
Stretching. Are you still talking about that cloud of pink pen
No,
stuff?
I didn't say nothing.
Get on out of here.
We'll see you on the other side. For those of you that are staying with us, we'll see you in just a second. We'll go into some deep brain stuff. We'll answer your portfolio questions. We'll get into the guts of the portfolio. And Brandon's going to talk about, hey, the new stuff that you set up in the dashboard for portfolios. Is that live yet?
No, I'm going to show it right now.
Oh,
I still want to show it before
smokes.
we go. So I'm going to show it when we get after